one building to the next? What if it comes out of the hills? You know, we were talking about that the other day. And we want to look at that 20-year planning period, because as you see, the cost of the tank is nothing to sneeze at. So we don't want to build it for today, we want to build it for the future. And the nominal cost to increase the size of the tank is smaller than getting that foundation in the ground to support the tank of any size that you decide to build. This is kudos for all of you. Hi.
Sign in because
Because you guys have been incredible, even those that aren't here today. You have been working on your water and your sewer system since I've been involved, and I know it even started before that, but not every community is proactive as you guys have been. So we get to check off the list. Last time I presented a public meeting like this, all of these things were on the list. We were able to get 100% financing. Well, not financing, it was grants and loans. Kathy has been a gem in help manage these. I think she's about to hang me if we do another project, but it's needed. We were able to replace, since the last time, the First Street main water replacement. We were able, Plains Extended Water, this is the issue that was over by the town pump. All of you guys have been involved. That's fixed. The new well is fixed. Not completed, that was part of the well project because there wasn't enough money when the bids were let, was the switch of the existing chlorinators away from gas. We need to get that done as part of this project. Gas is a very effective chlorination method, but it comes with a lot of safety hazards for your operators, and also storing those gas chlorine cylinders. It's also getting very hard to get the gas because so many communities are switching away from it. Our new well will be on, we were talking this before everybody got here, the new well will be on liquid chlorine, and we are going to switch the 2 existing wells over to liquid chlorine as well. Then, these are the 2 remaining items that we talked about in 2021, was the existing tank maintenance. We need a full sandblast and paint of inside and outside of your existing tank. But that cost is estimated at $300,000, so it generates the conversation. Do you take that money and put it towards new infrastructure if this is at the end of its lifespan, or do you continue to fix the vehicle as it is dying? And that's ultimately a decision that we've talked about a couple times, and the decision at this point is we need to go ahead and invest in the future for a new tank. But what does that look like? So that is new additional storage tank. I'm going to say 750, I even rounded up 800,000, because again, the nominal cost per gallon is small compared to getting the project off the ground, and we don't want to undersize it. So 2026, now we're here. What do we need to do in this new project? This is scary. Oh, my hand doesn't actually cover it up. Chlorine, that's number 1. Even if we aren't able to go forward with the total project cost, that is something that is going to remain in our applications, because to me that's non-negotiable. It has to be done. The new storage tank, 800,000 gallons. And I'm going to propose to you reasonable tank maintenance on the existing tank, meaning put enough into it that it can continue to function for as long as it can, but if it gets to that tipping point, we need to just abandon it, because operating 2 tanks takes more time, takes more effort, and it's going to take away your financial resources. So we will run it. It'll be great to have it while a new tank is being built. It keeps the hydraulics going in your system, provides you fire safety, and a new tank doesn't happen overnight. We're still a couple years out. Come on in. Oh, no. I'm glad you're able to come.
Sorry.
No, you're totally good. So what does that all bring us to? Unfortunately, $4 million. And that's without property purchase. So here's me today as I'm calling Chris and going, every time I get a new cost from the design engineer, because I'm not the design engineer on these projects, I'm your city engineer representing you. making sure that everybody is doing what they need to do, and that we're looking at realistic numbers, and unfortunately the numbers as of this weekend were $4 million. I was having a rainy day in the sunshine. One of the things we have to go through is how can we save money and what is feasible. So 2021, we looked at this entire section here as being a potential tank location. And this map, just for those of you who may not be aware, so your existing wells, you've got your city well, you've got your bulk well. This is where the new well is. And your tank is down here. Of course, we all know where that is. The existing tank was there, though, because of Baylor Springs. We no longer use Baylor Springs. I think most of you know that. So this becomes a very long maintenance route as well when we talk about how long do we operate that old tank and how much money do we put into it to keep operating it. This line also has issues. This is the Duduck Spring that we fixed last year that was not a spring. I expect this line to continue to have problems going into the future. So hydraulically, these elevations need to match, and that's kind of what presents this pattern. What we have been working on lately is a proposed site on Forest Service land. That would be wonderful because to go anywhere north, we're potentially having to go through the cemetery. That is not an option in my mind, or an option of least recourse. Coming south here is also difficult because we have to get back down to our mains, and we've got a lot of easements that would have to be achieved to get through there. So Forest Service is looking at this from a necessity perspective, and we would get a long-term lease. We're going through the environmental process with them right now, and this is something that I need to present from the grant application standpoint, that environmental is getting looked at. We are hopeful for this, but we cannot say that it is 100% on the table at this moment. Sound like our discussions?
Yep.
So how do we pay for a $4 million project? These are the grants and funding opportunities as we see them right now. The picture is changing daily, I would say. We all know what's happening at different levels of federal and state. This is what is still on the table. And again, so far, we've been very lucky. All of the projects that we have done in the last 5 years, from the wastewater lagoon to the new well and the pipe replacements we've talked about, we have taken out very minimal to no loan to be able to do it. This project is probably going to be different, unfortunately. Right now, the state revolving fund is offering loans at 2.5%, 30 years. That's pretty darn good. They are also still able to give forgiven loans up to $1 million if you meet the demographics of what they call a community in need, a disadvantaged community. We meet that because of how much we have to pay and what our income levels are in the community. However, the bad news is they are likely not to have this money going forward. This is one of the last years that they expect to have this money. So that's part of why we have kicked this project in the butt and said, we need to get this out here because $1 million to us is huge.
So that's December of 26, that goes away, is that correct?
It's good and bad, better and worse than that even. They have that money right now assigned to them, and it's first come, first serve, to the right community for the right project. We meet that project niche because our tank is 60 years old and it is at the end of its lifespan. We meet that niche because we are the right demographics in terms of a disadvantaged community. Where we are not is we do not have a design to hand them. We do not have land secured for the tank. Those put us behind other communities that are ready to go, and when this is gone, it's gone. The bill that renews their funding is not expected to have this provision in it that will require, up to now, they've been required to give out forgiveness loans. So it's not necessarily December, it could last longer or it could go quicker. And so I can't promise you this, but this is why we are chasing hard to see if we can get it. Now these next two programs are both full grant. They are at the state level. but they have a few other little hitches that come with them. So renewable resource grant and loan, $125,000. It's a very competitive grant. They normally get about 80 applications, and historically they've only been able to fund 35 or 40 of them. But every now and then they fund all of them because there's a surplus of state money, and the legislature chooses to make these infrastructure projects a priority. We are hoping that this is one of those years. So the applications go in now, which is why we talk meeting minutes and everybody getting to sign in. The money doesn't actually become available until July of next year. So the strategy I am working out for you guys is we are going to chase this one as fast as we can without risking money while these two catch up. And if we are awarded these two, I am hoping that we can roll them into the project. That's the best picture I can paint for you. This one is hard because, again, it's competitive and it's based on resources. A new tank isn't necessarily putting an existing resource to use. So like wells put an existing resource of groundwater to beneficial use. A tank, I think our biggest argument would be the protection from fire flow as a natural resource, or providing fire flow as an answer to beneficial resource and protective. The Montana Coal Endowment Program, $750,000, so that's a great one. It's health and safety based. One of my complaints about this agency, and I'm remembering that we're putting in meeting minutes to them, but I'd rather just be straightforward with you guys. Health and safety based review, the more proactive you are at solving your problems, the less health and safety problems you have. So you actually don't rank as well in their ranking when you take care of your problems. I've told the legislature that, and they do listen, and they now get more brownie points for being proactive, but they're not as many brownie points for being proactive. Let's say in the whole application, if proactiveness gets you 500 points, health and safety gets you 1,500 points. So it's still a bit frustrating to me. It also is very competitive. You see, again, about 80 applicants, and you see about 40 get funded. But again, every now and then the legislature says, hey, we have money. All of these projects are good and important, and they will fund all of them. So we're putting in for both of those projects, or all three of those grants, I should say. This might be a little small for those of you in the back, but what I've done is try to give you guys a realistic picture of what happens if we were to receive no grants. And then this bottom column here is the estimated rate increase per EDU. So this is scary, especially since you've just gone through a rate increase. This does not reflect what you've gone through. This is just a reflection of this loan row right here. And that loan amount changes based on the different grant options that I'm behind the scenes going, what if we get this? What if we get this one? How can we combine them? When can we combine them? And let's get as much as we can. So the best case scenario is the one I've been talking about, which would be this middle column, where we get the 750 from the state, 125 from DNRC. We do still get the $1 million in forgiveness money from SRF, and we take the rest out at the 2.5% interest rate for 30 years. That would still be $13.70 rate to support that loan. Now there's a chance that the rate increase you guys have just gone through will be able to support some of that, because I know the intent was to try to get yourselves back in the black where you were accumulating a little bit. If you've got somebody called a bond counsel as part of these projects, they will look at all those numbers and make sure that you can stay in the black and tell you if you still have to take out the full amount or something less than that. But what I want to do is present these numbers to you so that you can see them all and know what the implication is going forward. Now, as we go through this, the only decision you guys are making tonight at your regular meeting is if you want to put in for the grant. You are not signing a paperwork for loan. You're not committing to the project. You're just saying, I want an opportunity to get this grant. And then you as a council will have the choice in the future to say, which grants did we receive, and can we afford to go forward with the project? So this will be a chart that I can make sure you guys all have a PDF copy of, so yeah.
Can you send this to me?
Absolutely. So what does that mean overall? This is something that the grant agencies want us to go through. And this column is what they call your target rate. This is calculated by the Department of Commerce based on your median household income and some percentages. They would like Plains to only have to pay $28.77 for your water, $18.50 for your sewer, combined just shy of $50. That's why we get considered to be a disadvantaged community, is because we are paying well above right now combined water and sewer for roughly 3,000 gallon household usage is running you more like $66. The rate increase pushes you all the way to 85 right now. Versus what they're saying, your target, not target that you should be able to meet it, but what we think is affordable for Montana communities. They do those calculations for every community in the state. To me, that just demonstrates that even though we've been incredibly proactive and we've taken advantage of every grant that's out there, these projects are incredibly expensive. Pipe has tripled in the last 10 years. Nothing is cheap, nothing is coming down. But at the same time, you can't not provide these services to your community. Water and sewer are base health and safety level. So you guys are in a pickle, and I don't make light of that, because even under funding option C, if the current rate gets you even with your expenses, you would then be almost all the way up to $100. And that's a hard pill to swallow, which again is why I say this isn't a decision to go forward tonight. It's just a decision to pursue as many grants as we can, because we can't change the fact that the tank is 60 years old. We can't change the fact that there's corrosion in the tank and they want to charge $300,000 to fix it to see that maybe it lasts another 10 years, and then you're back into the same scenario again. That's really all I had, but I want to make sure that council and public get a chance to ask questions, provide ideas that you guys might have. Always happy to listen.
Any questions? Queries?
Your foot's down there.
Right, good stuff.
Your foot's up high.
Okay.
And also, anybody that has not signed in, if you'd sign in, please, because that will help the process as it gets presented.
Yeah. And Kathy, I'll make sure you have a copy.
Okay.
So anybody can request a copy of this if you want more time to digest it and go through and provide the council with your thoughts. Turn it back over to you,
All right.
Mr. Mayor.
Thank you, Sherry. All right, so it's 4 minutes after 7, so we are past the 7 o'clock mark, so we will go ahead and start the regular meeting, and we'll do that by saying the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay. All right, do we have any public comments for agenda items? That's something that you picked up agenda out there and can see what we have on the agenda.
What about non-agenda items? Is that later?
That's later.
Okay.
Nope, okay. All right. I would take a motion on approving the minutes from the regular meeting on April 6th, and the special meeting on April 17th, please.
I move to approve the regular meeting minutes of April 6th And the special meeting minutes of April 17th as presented.
Do we have a second?
A second.
Been moved and second that we approve the minutes from the two meetings in April. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? All right, journal voucher report, there wasn't one. Treasurer's report, I would take a motion on that right now, please.
I'll make a motion, we accept the treasurer's report as presented.
Second.
It's been moved and second that we accept the treasury report as presented. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? All right, now the same for claims and payroll, please.
I'll move we accept claims and payroll as presented.
I'll second.
It's been moved and second we accept claims and payroll as presented. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? All right, now we move down to the judge's report, and since the judge is here, well, I bet he'd probably even want to give this. Did you want to give the judge's report, Tom?
I'd have to look at it.
Oh, it's right here. Since you don't make it here very often, this gives you a perfect opportunity. Oh, there we go.
This is for the month of April, 56 new cases during April, 36 pending cases, 35 have been processed, and just a matter of, they call it disposed, but a matter of finalizing that. Total active cases in the court is 113. Any questions?
Any questions on that? Thank you, Tom. All right, next, mayor's report. All right, just at the top of my list, we have 4 new cameras that are installed at the shop area. Been a little bit of a hiccup to try and get those up and running completely. There's a little bit of a power surge when one of the compressors kick on, so we're trying to figure that out tomorrow as far as what that disruption is and get that mitigated so it doesn't blip the cameras out. The pool has been completely emptied. Sam and Brad were pretty busy getting all that water out there and all the green slime and all that fun stuff. So now they're going to be getting ready here in the next week or so to get all the caulk pulled out of all the seams, get that all cleaned up, and within a week we'll have the new stuff to go ahead and caulk all those joints with probably a little better product than we have used in the past. It sure sounds like it. Hopefully we can mitigate some of the problems that we've had with water loss, and that's the high hope anyway. Radon mitigation. It's been addressed at the library, and the average on the radon levels have went down from 17.6 to 1.7. So kind of an amazing change. Right, Nikki?
Yay.
Yeah.
I'm no longer.
I hope I'm not stealing your thunder
The
on your
limit for
report.
radon is 5, right, Chris?
Huh?
The limit for radon is
4.
5? Is it more
6.
4?
4 for residential, but it's different for, you know, like a library or a school or whatever, because people aren't necessarily living in there, but still. Like the library, librarians are in there enough time when it's at 17.6 that it could definitely possibly be problematic. All right. Well, and then over the weekend, the town was blessed that the Harvest Church, the Be the Church Day, they not only did their usual helping people with yard work and splitting wood, but also they bought paint and stain and painted the gazebo down here at Fred Young Park. And they also stained the gazebo down by the basketball court, which was all bleached out and nasty. And they painted the outside bathrooms, the walls and the floor at the pool, and also the little building at the wading pool. They went ahead and did that. Our guys prepped all the stuff ahead of time, got out there with the power wash, got everything ready for them, but they supplied everything that they needed to do that. Plus, it appeared to be 30-some adults and teenagers. It was amazing. It was amazing. What a blessing that was. But they just decided they wanted to do that. Wouldn't let us buy anything. Well, the last month when we talked about water loss, it was only like a 3%, which I felt was artificially low. But right now, this last measurement, we pumped 3,112,000 gallons, sold 1,877,648 for a loss of 40%. We really still don't know where that falls either, because we just found out through Scott Johnson working on painting the hydrant over across from the Mint. We were over there and he said, "Are you supposed to be able to hear water going through there?" Sam says, "No." And so what it appears to me, because 2 months ago, there was a perceived leak there, but it ended up being that somebody had not shut that hydrant all the way off. So Sam got a wrench and he ended up opening it up and flushed it out, and you could hear stuff coming out. Shut it down, open it again, flush more water out and shut it down. Nothing going through. So we don't know how long that was sitting there with water going through, and it's very possible that people are going maybe in the middle of the night and pulling water off that hydrant. The railroad didn't pull any water off. Fire department didn't pull any water off. Nobody has had any reason that we know of to be opening that up and taking water out. All we know is that the last time that hydrant was exercised, it was shut off and there was no water. So we don't know for the last month when that happened or how much water we had going through there. So somehow we're going to have to figure out what we need to do to keep an eye on that hydrant. And hopefully catch somebody pulling water off, because we really don't want to have people pulling water off our hydrants. That's a bad thing, but then leaving them so they're still leaking is really bad. So everybody be on the lookout. So if you see anybody parked over there in the middle of the night, please let us know. And speaking of the hydrant, you'll notice when you look at that hydrant over there, it's red, white, and blue. So if nobody has failed to look at that, and then there's also one over on First Street that's already been painted. I don't know, those are the only two I've seen, but they're gonna do, I don't know, probably 12, 14 of them around town. 250-year anniversary of the country. Scott Johnson got a grant for $1,200 for paint and supplies, and he got several groups together to go and paint hydrants. And so he's got that kind of niched out. So you're going to see a few of those popping up around the school, First Street, Third Street. It's kind of an exciting thing. They look really nice.
So, and I heard after a certain period of time, they have to be put back to the.
Well, you know, we talked about that. They really don't. From what I've heard, I have not heard that they need to go back, that they have to change.
It'd be a shame.
It would be a shame. You know, basically from what we've talked about is that if the paint is good, why change it?
They actually show up better than a red hydrant.
They do. They do.
Has anyone put a dollar amount to that 40% loss?
I don't think so.
And actually, I think we did.
Did we?
Maybe they did.
Yeah.
To the 40% loss?
Oh, not the 40%, but I think we figured that. I'll get to you on that. It's not terrible because, but it does involve chlorination and electric. So
Year to year, it averages close to 30%, right?
Right. Well, and up until the 3% we had last month, we were for several months between 50 and 53%, which was randomly high because you go back to last October, we were at 38%. I remember looking through my notes from 23 when I was mayor, we had as low as 17 or 18%.
I remember 18.
Yeah. So it does fluctuate a lot, and we were able to get the leaks that were the main problem around town, but we don't have a clue, like I said, how long was that hydrant leaking water that was opened up? So we are doing better, and we're working very hard on getting new meters in the ground too that are gonna help capture and give us better readings also.
I wanna say on that, Corey, that when we were at 50%, we kind of did the math on that, and it was in the neighborhood of $1,000 a month. Yeah, I can check that.
Doesn't the fire department go around and check those as well, so they turn them on and off?
Well, they do that periodically. The last time they went exercised the hydrants, I do believe was back in October.
But it's only a couple and they rotate through how they
Yeah,
do that.
yeah. So I'm not too sure what their program is set up, but I know I talked to Tony about this one here, and that particular one that we were dealing with the leakage was last October. So the fire department had not touched it since then. We had made sure it was shut off and closed off in February, so it was not leaking. So nobody with the town, with the railroad, had touched that hydrant. So somebody did. We just don't know who or when. But we do know that we were losing water there. And we can't tell you the exact amount of gallons either, which is frustrating.
I don't know if they're approved or not, but the fire hydrant out by where Meany and Lynch come together, you have various people with trucks and tanks that stop there and fill their tanks up using the fire hydrant. Now, maybe you give that, maybe that's already approved or something, I don't know. But it is something we see out there.
And how often do you see that, Dennis?
Excuse me?
How often do you see that?
Well, during the summer, I saw quite a bit. Some of it was Forest Service.
Right.
I will have, and
Yeah.
you know, using it. But, I don't know, I've saw it, the other day, there was someone there that was using it. I don't know, it was a company of some sort, I don't know who it was. But they had a small tank and they were filling their tank up with it.
So unless they came through the office, which I have not heard of any of that,
We have one, and that was the railroad.
and,
Is the only one that I know of is the railroad.
and how long ago was that?
Yeah, it's been a little couple months.
A couple months ago? If it wasn't the railroad, then they were pulling water off illegally.
And do you rent a meter out when somebody asks, right? You have a meter you put on there, like water trucks, construction companies will do?
We don't put a meter on there, but we basically go on their honor on the size of their tank and how many gallons they pulled.
Because I've seen where they have a meter that they can put on there, the town supplies, they fill it up and they turn that meter back in, you charge them whatever's on that.
I don't think we've ever done that as far as I know.
No, but the railroad company that I know that was pulling water off there, they have their own meter
Yeah.
that they put on it.
We don't typically have people pulling off of our hydrants unless it is railroad or Forest Service,
Or fire.
you know, basically for fire. So
As a rule, we direct them to the hydrant down by the city shop. So if anybody in the public sees somebody at a meter, probably worth a call to the town
right,
hall.
because we don't send them back over there. It's by the shop.
I'll just write their names down next time.
Thank you, Dennis. Yes.
Drop it off.
Yep. All right. Officers' reports. Fire department, I don't see Tony here. All right, so there must not be okay, police department. I don't see anybody here either. Mr. Spall was supposed to be here. All right, I think we have possibly right here. All right. Police department. Calls for service, 56. Arrests made, 5. Criminal and traffic citations written, warnings, 111. Citizen contacts, 21. Business bar checks, 102. Other agency assists, 12. Reserve training officer hours, 40. And that would And then he had in here in April 2026, Sergeant Geenan was able to attend the Montana Child Forensic Interview Training offering in Helena, Montana by the Department of Justice. Sergeant Geenan received 36 hours post-credit for his training, and we were able to obtain a scholarship from Children's Alliance to cover training and housing costs. That's kudos, that's good. All right. Public Works Department. Who wants to give that? I know we have 3 Public Works employees. Somebody's gonna wanna stand up and talk.
All right, the Public Works Department, of course, as hopefully everybody's seen just a little bit, we're starting to work on patching potholes. Speaking of that, tomorrow we should be receiving our first batch of bulk asphalt patch. So we purchased 25 ton, we've been purchasing it in the bags, and it's the same material with the oils in it, except the aggregate's a little bit different. It's gonna be a little bit different aggregate, hopefully it's gonna be larger, but the city of Missoula just ordered 100 ton, so we're guessing that their word is that they had it last year and they did a really good job. They liked it. What we're looking to do with that material is we're gonna put it in our road cuts. So anywhere that you guys are running over those road cuts from a sewer repair or a water repair, we're gonna dig that out with an excavator and do it right and get rid of the dirt in there. It's just taking us a little bit of time to do it. That is the proper way to fix it, and then we'll probably end up taping it or use some sort of mastic over the crack so water doesn't get in there and lift that right back up. And then we'll go ahead and compact it, and we're gonna do the best we can. On Friday, we got after Llewellyn Street. I know in front of the school, it was extremely bad there, so we actually used, 16,000 pounds of material there on Friday. Really bad situation over there, so that's gonna help that tremendously. We didn't get it all done, but I guess we should say we're blessed we got the material we do. We went through 10 bags of it here in the last 2 weeks, Getting right after it out, the lift station, we've been working on, we did replace a valve out there. There was a check valve. We found out that there was a little screw in the seal, so it wasn't, when it was checking, it wasn't completely checking. There's also a few other details we're working on there. I think Corey's been pulling duckweed out of the lagoons out there. We do have the new boat that we were able to get with the ARPA funds, so we'll be working on aerators and stuff like that, hopefully this summer. We did go ahead and decide to put the bulk asphalt inside of our building, so it's not outside where others can take advantage of it and just come help themselves to it. So it is going to be inside of the building, so we're going to have it delivered. It's going to be placed inside of there, and then assuming you're hoping that this material works out really well, we're going to maybe order another 25 ton and see how that goes. We did prep for the paint job. That we were really lucky to have the church do that. Of course, you guys can see the grass is getting after it, and we completed the repairs over, well, I shouldn't say we completed the exterior repairs over at Fred Young Park. We are going to make that all one bathroom. Currently, it was 2 bathrooms. We're going to make it 1, as we found out one of the commodes didn't have the proper plumbing in it, and as the solids dropped down, somebody didn't flush the other toilet, wouldn't flush it out, and it would back up. So we went ahead and took that one out. We're gonna make that where your lavatory is or your sink, and that will be all 1 bathroom in there. So we are working on the plumbing this week, hopefully to get that finalized. Working on getting water over there. We put a new exterior frost-free that we've never had over there, so now folks can pull water over there. We'll have to get a lock on that, but I think that's probably about it. You guys have anything else?
I'll speak on the lagoons out there. I've discovered that a lot of preventive measurements and some stuff that could be being done out there has not been. So trying to catch up on that. I've discovered we need to change out the coolant in the generator out there. It's the wrong colored one and stuff. We have a few other minor things, repairs, maintenance stuff of the mobile generator. I'm in the process of changing the oils and all of that on our blowers, which we're due. Cleaning out the UVs, so both of our banks are now up and operating because we got new fans in for that. And I'm waiting for Joel from MET to get here to hook in the north well once the chlorine tanks get here for that. And work through some more of the SCADA issues. But SCADA can't work the way that they normally do because we're dealing with like 6 different proprietary technologies between the different components that we have out there. So that's gonna take a little bit extra kind of brain work on our side of data collections and how to then be able to present it to you guys in a easier way, so.
Thanks, Corey.
Taking care of all the weeds out there.
Yes. Thanks, Corey. Thanks, Sam. Anything to say, Bradley?
Pretty much covered it.
All right. It's just unfortunate as you get around town and you see all those potholes. You know, and basically it's tough. The winter we had with the way the freeze-thaw cycle worked out to where it never really got cold, never held, has created basically tragic holes on our roads. Over here on a short section of Oak by Kathy's, you can drive down that and the road's bad. But you can also see amongst those potholes are all the places that were already fixed that are sitting there just fine. But the road just broke up around it. And so many of our roads are this much asphalt. So there's not a lot holding it there. So we are getting complaints about the potholes. We're working diligently trying to get things taken care of, but it's a never-ending process right now. We have a lot of things on our plate. We've got great employees, but there's just not enough of them. Between the water, the sewer, the streets, the pool, we have a lot of projects that are going right now, and so it's just going to be a process getting startup done, like especially with the pool, so that we can actually start focusing away from that and on other things. Anyway, it's all fun, but it's just crazy and frustrating.
Some of you probably have seen me, I run a scooter every day with my dog. And I know the 7,421 potholes. But I wanna tell the pothole people, you do a good job. When the ones you do a good job. And I appreciate that very much, I definitely do. And, I have two questions, and then I'm new here, so if I'm stepping out of line, kick my butt. There's a fence down by Studs that it goes along Lynch Street, and it's partially filled. It is not completed to cover the whole trashy area they have, their storage area, I should say. And I do not know how to handle that, to ask Studs to please finish the fence. I've already heard the example of it's the railroad's fault. No, it's not the railroad. Studs is borrowing that from the railroad to do it. And they put the fence part way. They need to finish it. And it just makes it look better for everybody coming down the street, not just the people that live there. I bring that up. And the second one, which is dangerous, is there is a dock down past my area, down past where Lynch and them come together. The eaves troughs are falling off. And if there was one person went on it and they said they'll never get on it again because it's moving around. Well, there's high water, so I don't know what's it. But I can't go on it because it's not handicapped. So I don't know anything about it. But you have a dock down there that is a little dangerous, and I don't know what legalities are involved, but you need to take a look at it and see that it's.
That's private property.
Excuse
That's
me?
private
the
property.
developer put that in when he subdivided that.
You did?
Well, that is private property though, it's not actually supposed, it's not really open, it even
That's not
says
part of
some
the
stuff
city?
on it. No, it's private property.
Anyway, yeah, I do believe it's outside the city limits, as far as I know.
Yeah, it's private property, it's Troy.
My contract says that I have part of that is it's for me too.
Okay,
It's
cause
for
you're
everybody.
part of that.
Oh, is it?
You're part
Okay.
of that subdivision.
Yes, right.
Yes,
So I guess we need to look into that.
Put that in there. when
yeah,
they
the subdivision, that's part of that as well.
Well, somebody should look at it, that's
Okay,
all, and
all
I
right.
don't know who to see or to what,
All right.
I'm here tonight just to make.
Thanks, Dennis. We'll find out. All right. Nikki, you're on.
Can everybody hear me? I know I don't project well. We have some new landscaping. I hope you've noticed. It's pretty. It's the only thing really left to do is they're gonna put gravel around between the mangy moose and our landscaping, kind of fill that gravel back in that was there before. And there's gonna go be some flowering bushes that are gonna go in the very, very, very front up against the sidewalk. But after that, it's pretty much done. I've reached out to the shop class at the high school and asked them if they'd make us some planters, and they're gonna do that for us, probably in the fall. And I've got some volunteers who are gonna, kind of maintain the flowers and the bushes and things like that. So it should stay looking nice and taken care of. It was really a joyful morning the other morning. All the kids after story time went running out and they were all playing on it, and it was just gave me a lot of joy. We have accessible doors with the buttons on all library doors can be opened with a button right now. That has not been the case the entire time I worked there. So I'm really, really proud of that. We did go out and get grant money to get that done, and then finding an electrician and finding all the people and coordinating it. It doesn't sound like a big deal, but it just really is. So we're really proud of the fact that all the doors open. It doesn't matter what's on the inside if people can't get into it. I guess we just have one. Oh, I just want to thank the city council for the lawnmower. I hope that us having that will make it easier on city staff. It's one less thing on their plates because I know how much hard they work, and it just makes it so we can take care of it at our convenience. And already it's mowed, and the mower's great, and I really appreciate it. And then just kind of the major challenge that we're dealing with at the library is, especially in the summer, unaccompanied minors in the library are a huge challenge. We end up, I've worked really hard to create a reputation for the library that we're a safe and welcoming and a good place for kids to come, but also maybe come with them. I don't want to say that we don't want kids in the library. That's definitely not what I want to say. I want to say bring them, but even the best behaved children, when there's 12 and 15 of them, they get rowdy and they get noisy, and they're on the computers and they're shouting at each other, and pop bottles are getting spilled, and they're playing tag, and then I have to get out like my library finger. So and that's the best case scenario, and they usually quiet down, and I keep snacks in my office to bribe them with, and that's the best case scenario. I've had kids at the library all day, and I'll say, "Hey guys, where's your parents at?" And they'll say, "Oh, they went to Missoula. They went to Thompson Falls. They went to Polson." I'm like, "Oh, do you know their number?" "No." "What's your mom's name?" "Mom." I'm like, "Okay." And this kind of happens a lot. I can think of in the last year 3 or 4 times that scenario where kids are just kind of, and the library's not equipped staff-wise, safety-wise, nutritionally to be a daycare, and so, and I don't think it's not something I need to I don't want to brandish my library, staff and punish people. I think we just need to re-educate the community that the library is a welcoming place for kids, but maybe come with them and don't kind of use it as a substitute for daycare. So we're changing some library policy. We're going to be sending out kind of some little, hopefully gently worded notes of, hey, we were so happy to see your kids today. Here's our library policy, and help us. Here's how you can help the library be a safe place for kids, is make sure that the kids aren't here all day by themselves. That's it. Thanks.
Thanks, Nikki. Also out of the library budget was the $2,100 for the mitigation of the radon there, and the $500 mower, and weed eater, which is battery powered, so that they can actually mow and weed eat, and we don't have to worry about trying to get over that there. And it's been an ongoing problem for years because the library sits kind of tucked away, and so it kind of gets the forgotten child. So now their guy on site who can take care of the mowing and weeding, and we don't have to worry about it. All right. No unfinished business. We'll move on to new business and reappoint city judge. So that would require a motion.
How long is that term?
I do believe it's year to year, isn't it?
4 years?
Is it 4 years? 4 years, 4 years.
I'll move that we reappoint the Honorable Tom Collins for 4 years as our city judge.
I'll second.
It's been moved and seconded that we reappoint
You guys
the
want
honorable.
rock, paper, scissors for that? You both said it at the exact same time.
Anyway, reappointing the Honorable Tom Collins to city judge. We could probably poll that.
We good. Chad,
Yes.
Joel,
Yes.
John D,
Yes.
Bonnie,
Yes.
John S,
Yes.
Lyle.
Yes.
All right.
Glad to have you back, Judge.
Not that you were ever gone.
Yeah.
All right, so next down is workman's comp. I don't have that sitting right in front of me, but
Montana State Fund.
yes, I know I have it somewhere. Anyway, MMIA has been our umbrella for workman's comp for many years at this point. They recently decided that they were getting out of the business of doing that. So we needed to get somebody else to step in to do that. And so the Montana State Fund graciously opened up business in the state for covering workman's comp. And in doing so, that was a great segue for us and for many others because they have the same type of insurance, but actually costs a little bit less. So we decided that we would propose that and not complain because it looked like a great deal for us. Do we have a motion to accept the quote and moving to the Montana State Fund?
Yeah, I'll move that we accept Montana State Fund and the quotes that they've given to us.
I'll second it.
Is there any discussion? I don't know who else is out there, but this seemed to be the best option. And it really fit our needs, and they seem to be the one that is basically the lifeline for towns like us. Anyway, we'll go ahead and pull that then.
Alrighty, Joel,
Yes.
Chad,
Yes.
John D,
Yes.
Bonnie,
Yes.
John S,
Yes.
Lyle.
Yes.
All right,
That's gonna go tomorrow.
we'll move on to resolutions here. First on the docket is Resolution 26-4 to approve the water and sewer rate increase. So we have that before us. Do we need to read that?
Unless you want to.
Well, I really don't, would rather not. I mean, it's a lot of reading. Everybody has that before them. You guys have all heard all the information of this anyway, correct? We've had several meetings. Okay, so I would take a motion of accepting Resolution 26-4 then, please.
I move that the council approves resolution 26-4 as presented.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded that we accept Resolution 26-4 as raising the water and sewer rates, which we really don't want to do, but we are really forced into a crevice of no way out. Anyway, we'll take a polling on that, please.
Okay, Bonnie,
Yes.
John D,
Yes.
Joel,
Yes.
Chad,
Yes.
John S,
Yes.
and Lyle.
Yes.
All right, it's been passed there, so we'll move on to Resolution 26-5 to approve the growth policy. Now, I don't know who here was at any of the growth policy meetings or planning board meetings. I've got a little synopsis here, if you guys want me to read it, that came from Great West Engineering. which is the company that basically did all the research and helped the planning board with everything coming up and putting through the growth policy. You guys want to hear this? Nikki says no. That's what we said. Because actually, there's people here from the planning board that could read this. Right, Corey?
Well, a little bit of a highlight on that might be good, just a little bit of it. Nothing.
All right. The highlight is the purpose of this, the growth policy process was key milestones, stakeholder involvement, and the sequence of events that led to the current state of adoption. The background is the Plains growth policy was initiated to guide future land use, development patterns, infrastructure planning, and community priorities within the town of Plains. The effort was driven by the Plains Planning Board and members of the community. Initial discussions began in April 2025 when Great West and CTAP met with the planning board to kick off the project. Basically, this is something that's required for the town to do every 5 years, is to review the growth policy and decide if you want to go through the process of looking what kind of changes can be made and going forward with it. And that's basically what happened here. There was a grant that covered Great West to come in and help us with that. There was a lot of work. Planning board was very busy doing that. There was a lot of meetings. There was public meetings. There was just a lot happening. Hopefully most of you were able to make those meetings because there was a lot of good information out there. I don't know if we have it yet, but there'll be a book actually that has all the things in it that they came up with as far as this process. And you can peruse it, come in and peruse it anytime you want. But it's a lot of good stuff. All right. So I would now then take a motion to accept the growth policy.
I'll move that we accept the 2026 Plains growth policy.
I'll second it.
It's been moved and seconded that we accept the growth policy as presented, coming from the planning board and Great West Engineering. We would take a polling on that, please.
Okay. Joel?
Yes.
Chad?
Yes.
John D?
Yes.
Bonnie?
Yes.
John S?
Yes.
Lyle?
Yes.
The next thing on the list says Resolution 26-6 to update the fee schedule. Now, we have that on there, but Kathy rethought that, and that there was a need to reach out a little bit to the different groups that fees come from and try to get a better grasp on what we're looking at, planning board and different entities as far as, pieces of the pie, because our fee schedules have not been updated for years. And there's a desperate need to get that taken care of.
I'll move that we table resolution 26-6 until that information can be obtained.
It's been moved to table 26-6. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Perfect. All right. Resolution 26-7 to approve application for MSEP and the Plains Water Tank Replacement Project. So this is basically going with what Sherry was presenting here as far as the project going forward, just as we try to research and see what we're going to be able to get as far as funding. So this is kind of a first step thing, see what's available out there and what we can get. So I would take a motion on that, please.
I'll make a motion, we accept resolution 26-7.
And second.
It's been moved and seconded that we accept resolution 26-7 to pursue funding for the water tank. Could I have a polling on that, please?
John Sheridan?
Yes.
Joel?
Yes.
John D?
Yes.
Chad?
Yes.
Bonnie? Yes. Lyle?
Yes.
All right. On to committee reports.
No, we got one more.
Oh, do I? Where? That's not part of the same thing, isn't it?
No, that's separate.
Okay. permission to pursue funding applications for SRF and RRGL. It's all for the water tank project though.
Yeah.
I thought it was all,
No, they're separate.
oh my goodness. For the water tank replacement project. So this is, she talked about the MSEP, the coal, whatever. These are two of the other funding opportunities. And so I would accept a motion on that regarding the other two lines of grants.
I'll move to pursue funding for the water tank replacement from SRF and RRGL.
I'll second.
It's been moved and seconded that we accept applications to SRF and RRGL. Could we have a polling on that, please?
Joel,
Yes.
Chad,
Yes.
John D,
Yes.
Bonnie,
Yes.
John S,
Yes.
Lyle.
Yes.
That's kind of a busy resolution
move on.
section.
I know. It's a lot.
All right, down to committee reports now. We'll go with the administration committee budget meeting on April 2nd, 9th, and 23rd. Catherine?
So the budget committee met on April 2nd, and that was kind of our first kind of look at the budget. We do have a couple new people. So it was just kind of this is what the budget is. This is how we do the process. Da, 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 da. Short, sweet, to the point. The second meeting on the 9th, we started going over, who did we meet with? We met with the police department first. Yeah, and they had some wants and needs, and I don't even know what my things are, that they would like to see, and we just kind of went over that with them. And they basically wanted us to see if we could find the funds and maybe roll over anything that's left to continue funding Chris, our officer that was kind of filling in for a while, through fair. So we're gonna see what we can do about that. The parks, they would also like to add $1,700 more to the training budget, because there's a lot of training out there. They've been doing a lot of free training. Some of it's not going to be free, so they would like more on that. And the parks would like more trash cans and be able to put some out. And we also kicked around the idea of maybe possibly hiring a seasonal summer help for public works, because we do have a lot, which would be great. That would be needed. And we talked about the meters failing, and maybe instead of a metal detector, maybe ground penetrating radar to find the leaky lines and things like that. That was that meeting. Oh, that was the 23rd. Did we do the 9th?
We have minutes of the 9th and the 23rd, but not the 2nd.
The 2nd wasn't, it was just the two of us.
Right.
We really didn't do anything.
Yeah, we didn't really do anything.
So that is what we did for the budget so far. Our next meeting is on May 7th. They are all open meetings. It is at 9 a.m. in this room, if anybody would like to come
And the
and hear
talk
about how
about,
we do it.
the talk about another public works person part-time for like 4 or 5 months out of the year is gonna be kicked to the Public Works Committee, which is gonna be meeting here in a couple weeks to discuss how that looks. As part of their agenda.
May 7th.
So,
Thursday the 7th. So Thursday. Thursday morning.
We have been, like I said earlier, we've been falling way behind the 8 ball. There's just so many things going on and so much to do that we just can't stretch our 3 people far enough.
Do you know how many hours a week you're looking for?
Probably looking at more than likely between 30 and 40 hours a week for 4 to 5 months.
So
It's just tough.
the
It's just like, I had a comment, the group that was helping do all the painting and stuff yesterday said, with the amount of stuff you guys should have around 5 or 6 employees. But that's a reality, but that's not where the dollars say. Unfortunately, we don't have the money for that. But we definitely need the help. All right, on to Public Works Committee.
So a lot of what the Public Works Committee has been working with has already come up. A lot of what was dealt with by the Administration Committee were things that were concerns from Public Works. We did have a public hearing for the water sewer rate raises on April 27th. If you weren't able to be at that, there was good community involvement. Obviously, we are not excited about having to raise the rates, but we haven't for over 7 years, and we just have to keep up with, especially for availability to grants, we have to keep up with the cost of inflation, which is remarkable. Other than that, we are also looking at new meters, doing kind of the whack-a-mole effect where we're going to replace the old mechanical meters with a sonic read type meter, which are in the ballpark of the same price as the old meters, a little bit better materials, and we've been talking about that. We have not made a definite decision on that because that's a financial commitment as well, but that's an ongoing discussion with the Public Works Committee. Anything else, Chad or John, that you think that we need to discuss publicly?
The read meters that we had was great technology then, but it's kind of fallen behind what we have available now, so it will be much more expeditious for our meter reading and accuracy to move to newer meters, so that's going to be a good investment really for the future, because the older stuff is now not as good as what we can get now.
These newer meters that they're talking about have a 20-year warranty. The ones that we've been dealing with for years, really the warranty doesn't really, I don't know, it doesn't make much sense, but it's a two-part system. They have the meter itself, then they have the, what's it called on top, the register on top. The meter itself is mechanical, so it really doesn't go bad for the most part. Sometimes it does because they start reading backwards. But the registers go out quite often, and they've been going out like crazy. Those little registers are like $200 each. You know, you're almost most of the way to getting a whole new meter by the time you replace that stupid register. It's been a crazy dynamic. So at their next Public Works Committee meeting, they are going to have the representative from H.D. Fowler, which has the new meters, is going to be coming and doing a presentation for them, putting out some options. All right. Parks and Rec Committee. I know you've been anxious.
Hi. Yes, lots of things going on. So this last month we talked about starting planning for the Splash and Bash fundraiser that we did last year. We're going to do it every year for continuing projects with the parks. So far, we're going to be doing it August 1st at the pool, and we've secured an actual auctioneer this year, so and an assistant for that. I believe we've got maybe 6 food trucks lined up for that. So it's going to be a fun event, live auction, silent auction, community pool, open for everybody. Looking to get first responders involved also with that. So, and then also I did talk to Public Works on creating more footbridges on the Greenway. I know there's one across from the Mange Moose, the little dirt path so you can cross the ditch there. The Plains Day board asked if we could put more of those out there before Plains Day, so people can get across safely up that ditch. And Public Works said that they could probably get that done, hopefully. I know there's a lot on their plate. And we ordered a small playground set from last year's fundraiser. It should be set to be shipped off on the 8th, I believe. So is that Friday? No. Yeah.
Yes.
I don't know, we'll get an email confirmation on that. So the first playground set for the park should be shipped soon. I'm hoping we can get that in before the summer's out. I don't know. Hopeful. We'll see. Yeah, that's about it.
Confidence is high, right?
Yeah.
So. Thanks, Becky. And then we have the Plains Day Committee Chair, Emily, in the back there, I see.
Yes, Plains Day is going really to fill the entire Dental Park area. So the Dental Park is going to have the car show this year, an entire food truck court with the stage. That way parents can bring their kids to eat, enjoy the car show all at once, and it's kind of all in the same area. We're still in the process of working on the kids' activities to keep in that area, so that way parents can enjoy some shade, food, and check out some cool cars at the same time. All vendors are going to be on the greenway in 2 separate lines. Corey did a wonderful job making me a really pretty map, so we can avoid any areas that have slopes, so all vendors are on level ground. We also contacted the school, reached out to Mrs. Cole, had all the kids participate in an art competition, and we're gonna have Plains Day t-shirts this year as a fundraiser. We were not sure what we're gonna put the money towards this year yet, but we hope to do better for Plains Day and maybe put some of that back into the community to help with little projects amongst other committees. And I think that's about it. Any questions?
Have the Ryans contacted you? Sounds like they're gonna be doing it again this year.
Yes, so the Ryans, they're going all out this year. They're doing the community potluck, they're gonna do a dance. There's the possible talk of doing a 4-H bake sale, big things for them. And that, I believe, starts at 6 p.m.
And is there gonna be some banners?
Yes, we're still working with Northwestern and everything else to get those up. And Becky's supposed to help me put the ones up on the signs on the outside. Yeah.
Okay.
Sounds like if you, the limbo, if anybody wants to start practicing, it's $100 prize for the winner for that.
Oh, well, that's not me. I will not be participating.
Me either. Thank you, ladies. All right, police commission, obviously nothing.
We've had several meetings with the officers. One of the things that is in the works is they want to do a public forum. And I've been approached by several of the churches here in town that want to do a threat assessment on their facilities. So we've got 2 on board right now. I'll be talking to more of the churches over the next few weeks. And Brian and Rob are excited to do this. And so we're working on getting the community involved and making sure that our facilities here in town are secure.
All right.
Like he did with the school.
For anybody that doesn't know, Tracy and Ron here in the front are both on the police commission. They're 2 of the 3 legs of the committee.
So that's exciting. Get the
Yes,
community involved.
That sounds great, Tracy. I'm glad you guys are being so proactive in that. All right. Safety committee. Minutes from April 2nd, 9th and 23rd, what?
Okay, grief.
Oh, good gravy.
Good gravy, good grief, you know, it's
No,
all
we only
good.
had 1 meeting.
Yeah, we only had 1 meeting.
And that was on the 24th.
Yes, April 24th. So, I wish Tony was here, he could do this.
Yeah, where's Tony?
We did have a quarterly safety meeting on April 24th. And the topic was fit for duty, and we discussed being able to perform your duties ready mentally and physically, and a few of us decided that maybe we should go home. Speak up if you feel a coworker is not fit. Look for slurred speech, erratic behavior, bad judgment, confusion, wear your PPE, get enough sleep, all that kind of stuff. Our next one is scheduled for July 17th.
July 17th.
Yes. At 10 a.m. here, if anybody would like to come.
Thank you, Catherine. All right, so that gets down to public comment.
I guess
That's you, Corey.
I have a couple, but I'm here on behalf of 6 other residents on the corner of Kruger and Clayton, and we're all wondering when the road is going to be fixed.
I would also like to know, because I drive it every day.
And the driveways and the parking area, all of that. Wondering if that's on the schedule.
So do you want to hear the synopsis?
Oh, that's why I'm here.
Well, the synopsis is that the contractor out there is in control of taking care of that. What we have right now is that he is obligated for the one side that they tore up. Unfortunately, as all this happened and the back and forth, both sides got kind of messed up. And the contractor has not been ideal as far as staying up with how the road is. It's pretty good right now. It's pretty nice right now.
Well, you live there.
Yeah. But the big thing is that the county really wants to fix the whole intersection. And so right now they are working with the construction company to try and get them to give over the money that they have in their contract for the materials, and then the county would just take care of the whole thing. So that is as far as I have heard that it has went, because we are not, as a town, in control of that.
Who hired the contractor to tear it up?
Oh, somebody from outer space.
I believe that was a city
Oh,
project.
was it the city? Oh.
Yeah.
Actually, that was before
So
my
the
time.
city's
So,
responsible for repairing it,
well, actually, the contract is, but
which is city, right? The county really doesn't have any.
no, the county doesn't have any skin in the game, but the contractor does, because the contractor signed a contract saying they will take care of this.
Right, and I don't think we can go to them, so we have to come to you.
It is a county road though.
It is a county road.
It's a county road.
The city has an easement for a water line and
That's it.
And if you fix that strip where the water line was dug up, it won't do any good unless you fix
It fixed the whole road, because then the road is still a mess.
Well, and they tore up all the driveways, the parking area. I mean, they tore up more than just the road. So what I'm hearing is you have no idea.
At this point, I really don't. I've talked to Dan Rowan. He just says it's a negotiation in process. I have not really heard one way or another coming out of Levi with the contracting company of what they really want to do, because I really don't think that they really want to fix that road themselves. If they could just give the money away and let the county do it, because it's going to be a mess if they don't do that. So it's a little bit in limbo at this point.
Yeah, that's a really bad answer.
I know.
Yeah.
But it's the only answer we have. What do we do?
Well, did they get paid for the job?
No, they're still waiting for money.
Okay, well, I hope they wait until that's fixed.
Oh yeah, they don't get money until their portion of the contract is taken care of. So Sherry, who is here, is our engineer that is actually the one that is our liaison then to the other engineering group that oversees them. So it's kind of a, so when we hear a complaint, or I hear a complaint, I say, hey Sherry, or I take pictures, hey Sherry. And she goes to Morris and Mary Lee, and then they go and string up the contractor. And
So we just keep doing that then, I guess.
We'll get more people involved.
it's frustrating. More frustrating for you guys that live out that direction. But yeah, it's been a frustrating process.
Oh, and I know somebody who got pulled over the other day
I
for
know
going
as well.
around it. For going around the potholes and driving on the wrong side of the road, which is absolutely
That's wrong.
ridiculous.
I don't know. To me,
So,
it's bad.
yeah.
It's bad. I would hope they only got a
Maybe they
warning,
can
but who
come
knows?
oil the road or something. I don't know.
Well, right now it's just a
Because
little
it
bit.
sounds to me like it's not gonna happen anytime soon.
It's just a little bit dusty right now, but the road itself is smooth enough to drive over right now. It just doesn't stay that way for long.
Right.
It's a high traffic area.
It is a very high traffic area.
And those people didn't move, you know, I'm not complaining, dust doesn't bother me that much, but the people that live there didn't live on a dirt road.
Yeah.
And now they do, and now they're dealing with all that.
I don't know when the end date is for the contract, but it's gotta be coming right up. So there's not a lot of future left in it, because most everything has been accomplished as far as I know, at this point. If nothing else, we'll have more of an update on that on the agenda next month.
Well, we'll just table that another month then.
I can feel the frustration, 'cause it's, I get calls and,
I get it all the time. I'm getting the calls too. So
yeah, it's
like
frustrating.
I could go out there and pave it.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
All I can do is, I get a call, I get a text, I get an email, and I pass it on. Because I have no control over it. It's all the process. Anyway, any other public comment?
I forgot to mention for Plains Day, we're also doing laser tag in Fred Young Park.
Oh,
Yeah,
good.
someone's gonna get shot, I heard in the newspaper.
We're gonna shoot him.
Sorry, I had to do it.
I would then accept a motion for adjournment. All right. Thanks, guys. Thanks, everyone.
Hi, Mandy.
Yes.